Uh, shall I start sharing this, ma'am? Am I audible? Doctor, hello.
You are audible, ma'am.
Okay. Let me share my slides. Can you see my screen?
Screen is visible, ma'am.
Visible? Yeah. Because, like, I'm unable to see this in my system. Just wait a minute. I can able to see only you, not screen. Let me begin with this. Okay. Is it visible now?
Ma'am, PPT is not visible, ma'am.
PPT is not visible.
Yes.
But I started sharing. Now, is it okay?
Can you reshare, ma'am, please? Can you
Yeah, yeah.
close and again reshare it?
Okay.
Now it is visible, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you pick the presentation option so that the screen will be full?
Is it now? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Your PPT slides are visible.
Okay.
At the down, ma'am, you can see the right side, the first
Yeah.
option. Yes, ma'am. You can click that.
Okay. Yeah.
The first, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You want to see me the slideshow, right?
Yes, yes.
Shall we?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's begin with the topic. Here, I have given this topic the role of self efficacy in workplace collaboration and team dynamics. So, before going to understand the collaboration with the teamwork, team dynamic, and in workplace, we need to understand the role of self efficacy. So, first, we try to understand what is self efficacy, how it comes, and what are the sources of self efficacy. So, these are the contents that we are going to discuss. As we have split this topic into two. The number one is self efficacy. We try to understand it, and then how it works in team dynamic, right? How it collaborates. So, let's begin with this. These are the contents that which we are going to discuss in this. The self efficacy, when it is high, low, and the difference between this confidence, self confidence, and self efficacy. This is the most important thing that which we know, that what is the difference between self confidence and self efficacy. Then what are the sources of self efficacy, like how we get this self efficacy, and the source which make us to have this self efficacy, and the belief in which. Then later on we will go for the teacher self efficacy, how it is important for our teachers. So first, what is the meaning of the term self efficacy? In 1997, an Albert Bandura is the father of this self efficacy. So he is a psychologist. He is the one who started the theory of motivation. and he worked on the self-efficacy, and he used this first time the term self-efficacy in his book, in his research, and he said that self-efficacy means a belief in yourself. Like if you believe that you can do it, a particular task which is successfully, and you have a belief that you can do it in your capacity to perform it successfully. Here he said that a person's belief in their capacity to successfully perform a particular task. Here with this image you can understand that cannot can become can when you have the self efficacy. So this is the term which self-efficacy means. This is the meaning that what self-efficacy means exactly. Here, with this vision, you can understand that see, even the cat can have belief. What kind of belief the cat has, you can see very well. So, hope you understand the this meaning of self-efficacy. Let's move on to the next. Here, these are the steps to understand the self-efficacy very well. So the first step is that we think that I cannot do it. What we think that, oh, I cannot do it. Then later you say, okay, I want to do it. Then how to do it? Then, okay, let's try. I will try to do it. I can do it and I will do it. So at the end you will get success. So this kind of feelings, these kinds of your encouragement which comes in the self efficacy. So next we'll very quickly we'll see the what the Bandura say. Say Bandura claim, Albert Bandura, he in 1997 he claimed that the people with high self-efficacy like challenges, and they apply effort. What they do, they just apply effort for the particular task to prevent the task. Then, and what he said, he associated the success factors that relate directly to it, which is the ability and efforts. Self efficacy is the ability and effort to perform a task. And then at the same time, the self efficacy also evaluates the confidence and increase the expectation for the next task. Next, here we are trying to understand that the difference between the self-confidence and the self-efficacy. Here, Rufus 2014, he asserted that self-confidence involves self-respect. We have our self-respect, it involves with our self-confidence. And having the courage, we will get the courage to tell the truth about who you are, what you like, and what you believe. So it's like a courage that you tell about yourself. But whereas self-efficacy is the capability to attain the required outcome, that what is required to perform a task. You require your own capacity and skills to perform a task successfully. So the inner belief in yourself is exactly the self-efficacy. So here, this is the difference between self-efficacy and self-confidence. Now let's move on to the next. Here, this is the exact definition given by Bandura. Bandura's research was done on educational domain, efficacy and social system, healthcare, corporation, software, product development team. He has done research in many things, and he is the psychologist who has focus on on the employees stress, on the stress of the teachers. So he has many studies, he has done many studies, and he says that a person believe in their capacity to successfully perform a task. And next, what is next? That he said the most powerful motivation predictor, and he believed in his study, he has shown the significant result that he said that the powerful motivational predictor is self-efficacy, and it makes the person to achieve the future endeavors, and it determines with the effort, persistence, and the strategy in accomplishment of tasks. So self-efficacy make us to understand the to make us to make the strategy in our accomplishment of task. Next move on to this high self-efficacy and low self-efficacy. What we have, having a high degree self-efficacy leads an individual to work hard. With the belief in ourselves, this self-efficacy make us to work hard and to face the setback and adversity, like in in discomfort, in adversity, in uncomfortable, like we when there are many situations where we face challenges. So at that time, this self-efficacy makes us to believe in ourselves, that okay, the situation, that this is very challenging task, but I can do it. So, and when learning complex tasks, high self-efficacy leads to people to work to improve their assumptions and strategy rather than look for excuses. When you have a high self-efficacy, you will go for the execution, you will go for the practical, you will go for the implementation of the strategies, you will not give excuses. So when it comes to the low self-efficacy, low self-efficacy makes a person like low aspiration, like weak commitment to the goals they choose to pursue it, like they have personal deficiencies like adverse outcome rather than how to perform successfully. So high self-efficacy will give us the confidence to perform successfully. But whereas low self-efficacy, like we feel like we like the people feel like to give excuses, and they feel like they have their own deficiency, the personal deficiencies, but they cannot move on in the adverse situation. Okay. Next, like low self-efficacy is like a doubt on yourself, like doubt on the personal capacities, and we think that we cannot go on, we cannot move on to the difficult task because we are scared of ourselves. When we have low self efficacy, we feel scared of ourselves, we feel that we have our own personal deficiency, so it cannot be, it can be viewed as a personal threat to ourselves. So this is the, I mean, the result of high self efficacy and low self efficacy. Next, move on. So this picture shows that when you have this high self efficacy, that you are going to achieve it. And then when you have low self efficacy, like you are going to be very depressed, you are going to have maybe the, you are going to be come across with the anxiety, you are going to come across with the depression, disappointment, disheartened. This all will come with the low self efficacy. When you have the high self efficacy, you will feel optimistic, you will feel that you are going to achieve, and try to find out the ways, you try to find out the strategies to achieve the goal, to accomplish the task. Next, next, here. Now, self-efficacy comes from where? Self-efficacy comes from the sources, and these sources are the sources are four. Number one is the performance accomplishment. What is performance accomplishment? Performance accomplishment come from the self mastery. And the second is vicarious experience, which is a role model. And the third is verbal persuasion, which leads to social persuasion. And the fourth is emotional arousal. That is psychological feedback, what we have. Here, it is in detail. Now, what is mastery experience? The mastery experience is our own experience, what experience we have in our past and how we mastered that skill. If we are lacking in that skill, how we master that skill, and it all our past experience which give us the mastery. So this is the first source that the self-efficacy come from. The second is vicarious experience. Now vicarious experience come from the observation. Like we what we do, we observe the people, and we think, and we categorize them, and at the end we come to that, okay, oh, he or she is my role model. So this vicarious experience come from our observation, so we make the people like our role model. Next is verbal persuasion.